We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Jets, let's go!
Live coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's finally here as the Jets continue to thrive as the kings of the offseason. With all these picks and all these trades, can the Jets improve enough to become a playoff team in year 2 of Glenn and Muji? Jake's here and is live breaking down all the picks the Jets are making. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Let's see. Give me the pick, damn it. D'Angelo Ponds is the pick by the New York Jets. So Aaron Glenn gets a guy who's comped to Aaron Glenn. The Jets select Ponds at number 50. I love the value here. I think D'Angelo Ponds is a plug-and-play starter for this team. I understand he's 5'8", 5 and whatever, 5'8", whatever the measurement actually is. Let's round up to 5'9". But D'Angelo Ponds has an incredible vertical. He can make plays. Aaron Glenn said yesterday the Jets want guys from winning programs. This guy's coming from Indiana. He wanted guys that could take over games. We saw Ponds take over the game in the playoff win over the Oregon Ducks. He had an interception against Dante Moore that he returned to the house. I like the pick a lot. I think the Jets got really good value here with D'Angelo Ponds. I love it even more that they traded out of 44 to get an extra 4th before taking this guy. I think he's a really good fit for what the Jets are trying to do. I think he could play in multiple schemes, and I think it's a nice piece to go with Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana on offense, and now to get Ponds from Indiana on defense added to the Jets. I'm on board. I think this is a really good pick by Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn here, going with Ponds. Again, he ran a 4.36, 40-yard dash. His vertical is awesome. He's going to make plays. The Jets don't make plays. They didn't have an interception this past year. Ponds is a playmaker. I think he's going to have a role on this defense right away. Dylan, your initial reaction?
Yeah, I'm stoked for this pick. Aaron Glenn is not going to pass up on Aaron Glenn, right? And Daniel Jeremiah was cheesing ear to ear because as soon as the graphic flashed up of D'Angelo Ponds, that last line said Aaron Glenn, and you knew that Daniel Jeremiah was waiting. He even tweeted it out that he was waiting to see if that was going to be the pairing. I love this pick. Like we talked about, it's from a winning program. It's actually hilarious. The D'Angelo Ponds interception return for a touchdown against Dante Moore probably was the throw where many Jets fans jumped off the Dante Moore bandwagon, right? Like they were like, oh no, this guy's cooked. He can't even throw a simple out route against D'Angelo Ponds. Yeah, no shit. He's probably going to jump it and take it to the house. So is he the most talented corner in the Jets room right now today? Possibly. I think there's a really good chance he is. It is just going to be interesting. Do they prioritize him as a boundary guy? Do they like him more in the slot? He is 5'8" and 5'8". So a very small player, probably going to be one of the smaller guys on the field any given Sunday. But he definitely does not play like the smallest guy on the field. And I'm really excited to see how they use him because it's going to be an interesting fit in this defense.
Dane Brugler has D'Angelo Ponds as his 6th rated corner. He has him as his 38th overall player, so very good value there. Had a second-round grade on him, and guess what? They got him in the second round after trading back and getting a 4th. So from a value standpoint, I think this is really exciting if you're a Jet fan. Ponds, look, we know he's undersized, which is why he fell, but he's got top-tier speed, instincts, competitive toughness. That ingrained with his play style makes him hard to bet against him becoming an inside-outside NFL starter. So, again, I like the pick. I know a lot of the draft, analysis on Ponds was that he was a perfect fit for what Aaron Glenn likes. We know Glenn likes, the bigger corners, but you said it best. He can't pass up on an opportunity to draft, the 2026 version of himself. And what I like about Ponds is the guy's had to overcome a lot. He started at James Madison. He worked his way through the recruiting ranks to get there in the first place. And then he goes over with Cignetti to Indiana. The guy just wins, man. He just makes plays. So I think D'Angelo Ponds is a good pick by the Jets. I don't know if anyone could be that upset with the process that led us to D'Angelo Ponds.
No, and he's probably going to give you some special teams value as well to start off his career. So this is going to be a pick that again, it's going to take a developmental plan and a strategy to get him on the field, but he's one of those, okay, if you're playing a team with a lot of small, fast wide receivers, like what the Dolphins were under Mike McDaniel per se, then you probably want D'Angelo Pons instead of Jarvis Brownlee in the nickel. If you suffer an injury, is D'Angelo Pons good enough to get you out of a game or maybe a month's worth of games on the boundary, right? If it's him and AZ Thomas or him and Brandon Stevens, he's definitely a guy that's going to give AG flexibility. And I think that's kind of been the crux of their secondary moves on defense is give, flexibility to scheme, and we can be multiple with what we do on the back end as well as the front end. I know we talked about odd and even front looks, but on the back end, they have the opportunity to be multiple as well. So every player takes a developmental plan. This one, it's going to be interesting considering what the current cornerback room looked like.
So D'Angelo Pons is now a Jet. Let's look at the corner room, Dylan. Obviously, Brandon Stevens is the high-priced free agent signing from a year ago. So he is someone that is going to be a starter going into the year. I think they'd like Azareye'h Thomas to be their other starter on the outside, but Pons is going to come in. He's going to compete for a role and get playing time, I think, as a rookie immediately.
Yeah, they traded a 7th-round pick for Jarvis Brownlee, I believe, or a 6th-round pick and got a 7th back for Jarvis Brownlee. So there's a good chance D'Angelo Pons is already being viewed in that building as the starting slot corner, like I said, against smaller offensive wide receivers. But then you still have Brownlee, you still have Malachi Moore, you have Minka who can rotate in there. So I do think D'Angelo Pons in their base, like 4-2-5 nickel sets, he's going to be that slot guy with Stevens and AZ.
I'm excited to see, how the Jets could use this guy, man. I mean, he could do a lot of different things, man. His vertical at the combine was unbelievable. I'm trying to find the exact vertical jump, 43.5.
True. At 5'8", that's crazy.
That's how you get drafted in the second round, because if you're small as a corner, you're not going to get picked unless you have like a freak athletic trait that can help make up for the fact that on jump balls, you're just not going to get mossed.
Yeah, 43.5-inch vert, and I believe they said on the broadcast he ran in the 4.3s. Maybe you even said it yourself. Ran in the 4.3s, I believe, at his pro day. So they're prioritizing guys. And D'Angelo Pons, another one. This is their 4th pick. The analytics on D'Angelo Pons are very high. They overhauled their analytics department. They didn't necessarily overhaul their scouting department in the last, year and plus with Darren Muji at the helm. So they're definitely an analytics-based team when it comes to their drafting philosophy. And so far, I think it's not a 4-for-4 Grand Slam type of draft for the Jets, but this is a really good draft so far.
So far, so good. So to recap the Jets draft selections, night 1, David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, and Omar Cooper Jr. And so far, night 2, the Jets trade down from 44 with the Lions, move back 6 spots, and then take D'Angelo Pons 50th overall. And let's see if Darren Muji now wants to be aggressive with the Jets 3 forts, if he could get back into the 3rd round at some point. We still got ways to go till then, Dylan. But right now, we're at pick 52. Packers pick is about to be submitted and announced here. But, the Jets, they certainly have had a nice draft so far. And I want to shout out Adam is Too Cool, who's an Indiana alum, who goes, you can imagine how excited I am. Congrats, Adam. You're in the raffle for 4. You got yourself Omar Cooper. Now you got yourself D'Angelo Pons. Again, Indiana players are incredibly well coached. So that makes me feel good, because I don't know how good the Jet coaching is actually going to be. So just taking good football players who, can, come from winning programs, that's going to be super helpful when you're playing for the Jets.
Yeah, 100%. They are prioritizing winners from winning programs. So I can't really fault the strategy. We'll find out if the coaching staff themselves are indeed winners, but I don't mind this philosophy so far through the first 4 picks.
Hit the like button if you're just joining us. We got over 1,000 people watching live. Make sure you guys check out Dylan Tereman's YouTube channel. Subscribe to DT. His link is in the description for the video to do so. Let's see. We got a super chat from Zach. He's in the raffle for 8 here. Hill, Jacques, Prignon, Xavier/Pons. So you got Pons, Zach. So there you go. One of your players you wanted, you in fact got. Big fella says Pons, no doubt, a Glenn ego pick. I also do think that there's a chance Pons was their highest rated player when they got here too. I understand it's easy to clown on Glenn. Believe me, I am certainly not someone who believes in this head coach, but I liked Pons as a player. Like, I just think the guy is really good. Like, you watched Indiana, he would stand out. And I'm not the biggest college guy, but when I would watch Indiana, because I was watching Mendoza all year, D'Angelo Pons was a guy that always stood out to me.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he was the number one guy left on their board at this point. Obviously, like we mentioned before, draft boards are going to look drastically different across the league. Outside of like the first 20 to 25 picks in this class specifically, it's not like other classes. I just feel like there's so much difference in opinion that D'Angelo Pons might have been their highest ranked player, even if they were sitting there at 33 still, So we don't know who exactly is on their board because the overall consensus board is every single player. That's not how the Jets or any team should operate. So I would not be surprised if Pons was like a top 1 or 2 guy left on their board at this point.
D'Angelo Pons, the pick by the Jets. The pick at 52 is in. Another corner off the board, Dylan. Packers select South Carolina cornerback Brandon Cease. So Pons and Cease will be compared to each other because they both went within 2 picks of each other. The Jets could have had him. Instead, they go with Pons.
Yeah, another combine kind of boomer. I guess boomer's the wrong word, but a boom guy, riser from the combine. He almost jumped 11 feet in the broad, 41 inches in the vertical. Super athletic. I didn't love his tape when I watched him when he was getting mocked to the Jets. But he's a press man corner. I think he fits what the Packers want to do. That was the Packers' first pick too, by the way, because they obviously didn't have their first rounder due to the Micah Parsons trade. So that is the very first pick for the Packers in this draft, and they went with a corner, which was definitely a need for them.
Phantom Green and White with the super chat. Pons is a Mickens/Glenn combo. We love it. If D'Angelo Pons is as successful as Mickens and Aaron Glenn were as players for the Jets, this is a home run selection by New York.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Aaron Glenn had over 40 interceptions alone for the team, so we couldn't muster up one last year. I think D'Angelo Pons will help us in that department.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Jet fans, how are we feeling about the D'Angelo Pons pick? We'll read some of your comments. Also going to take your calls reacting to the Pons selection. We'll see if Darren Muji's got another trade in store for tonight as the New York Jets sit on the clock on day 3 now with 3 fourth-round picks. So that will be all coming up. I want to shout out Jeffrey, who gifted a membership not once but twice. So that's 4 entries for Jeffrey in our Monday draft raffle featuring the following signed Jets prizes: Mason Taylor helmet, Garrett Wilson helmet, Darrelle Revis helmet, Nick Mangold helmet. I'm rocking the 74 tonight. RIP to Nick. And the Joe Namath signed helmet, our top prizes.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.